Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar Hub. For years, holders of the Iraqi Dinar have speculated, strategized, and remained hopeful that their patience would one day be rewarded. That time may have arrived. A message once regarded as improbable has now hit inboxes across the United States, and this time, it's not a rumor. Verified reports from inside Chase Bank confirm that the long-awaited exchange process has officially begun at specific locations. The ramifications are significant. Investors who've been registered for years are now receiving confirmed appointments, not only for the Iraqi dinar, but also for the Vietnamese dong and Zimbabwean ZIM notes. These appointments are being sent to a select group of pre-approved clients whose currency holdings are flagged in internal systems or partner databases. What once lived in speculation is now unfolding in official channels. And this is stirring urgency across the entire dinar community. For many, possibly millions closely tracking these developments, this may represent the turning point in a financial plan that has taken decades to unfold. Whether one is cautiously hopeful or firmly skeptical, the shift from theory to action is now beyond question. Investors are no longer sitting idly by waiting for a signal. It has arrived, and with it comes urgency and potentially irreversible outcomes. Reliable insiders at Chase Bank now confirm that a secured, structured appointment system is live and functioning for a hand-selected group of currency holders, specifically those within the Tier 4B exchange category. These are typically long-time holders of IQD, VND, or ZIM notes, and they've been contacted via text or email with one-time use links leading to encrypted bank appointment systems. These links are not shareable or public. Each one is uniquely linked to an individual's banking profile and is protected using encrypted login tokens and QR code verification systems. In essence, the banks are using advanced systems to ensure compliance and prevent breaches. Sources say this is a phased release, meaning not all Chase branches are active. Only selected locations with specialized teams and treasury oversight are participating in this 48-hour rollout window. However, broader availability is expected within a few days, as volume, compliance, and procedural reviews expand. This methodical approach isn't just smart planning, it's also required by regulation. Banks must follow strict IRS protocols, know your customer KIC rules, and anti-money laundering AML mandates. Those attending appointments are required to bring original currency, valid identification, proof of purchase, and any additional verification documents. Sources reviewing Chase's internal memos confirm that this is not a soft launch, it is full deployment. The systems are functioning, the links are active, and the mechanisms are legitimate. After many years of build-up, this may be the moment that launches the long-awaited currency redemption event into real-world execution. Perhaps even more surprising and important is that the development extends beyond just the dinar. Multiple banking confirmations now verify that the Vietnamese dong and ZIM are also active within parallel processing structures. This dramatically broadens the exchange's scope and lends credibility to the long-speculated global currency reset, or GCR. The GCR theory suggests a mass recalibration of undervalued currencies, especially those from resource-rich nations, to align their values with real economic output and asset backing. Analysts with knowledge of Asian central banks, particularly in Vietnam and the Philippines, report that behind-the-scenes meetings have intensified recently, signaling advanced preparations. These sessions include discussions about asset-backed adjustments, adding weight to the idea that this isn't an isolated banking decision but part of a larger coordinated effort. Vietnam's dong, with its strong export-driven economy and increasing US alignment, is of particular interest. Similarly, Zimbabwe's Z-Long, considered a fringe cases showing signs that its monetary reforms were not symbolic after all. The larger takeaway? This is not a one-off event. It's shaping up to be a globally synchronized initiative. Currency holders are now urged to revisit their registrations, verify all contact information, and assemble relevant documents. This shift in the financial ecosystem may be permanent, and ICD, VND, and ZIM are at its very center. The ripple effects of this shift are already showing up in global markets. Wall Street insiders and global traders are noting irregular activity on foreign exchange tracking systems, especially in the IQD/USD and VND/USD currency pairs. While public forks displays remain unchanged, Institutional platforms such as Bloomberg Terminal and Reuters FX dashboards are quietly updating back-end figures. These changes are subtle and typically invisible to retail traders, but they strongly suggest that recalibration models are being applied. According to a Bloomberg source, this activity matches what's known as a rate lock-in period A synchronization stage before public rate updates. Though hidden from public view, these developments are clear signals to seasoned financial institutions that a shift is underway. As a result, high net worth individuals and even skeptical hedge funds are reconsidering their positions. Conservative wealth managers are beginning to reanalyze their strategies, especially as rate shifts begin to align with geopolitical energy moves and regional oil pricing. For those who've waited patiently, these are the signals they've been watching for. If and when the rates are published publicly, the financial world will face a major transformation. The process is already being validated by seasoned economists and financial insiders. Dr. Sai Al-Nafi, an economic advisor to Gulf region sovereign wealth funds, noted that Iraq's surge in oil production, infrastructure revival, and foreign investment support are logical revaluation. He added, "If Chase Bank is confirming launch, it likely means there's behind-the-scenes coordination with Baghdad, Washington, and possibly even the IMF." Another authoritative voice, Professor Harold Tenner, a former IMF consultant, expressed a similar sentiment in a recently released research paper. He emphasized that the Vietnamese dong and ZIM have long been undervalued. Vietnam's value is tied to consistent trade surpluses and export strength. Zimbabwe, by contrast, holds untapped value in its mineral wealth and newly implemented financial reforms. Tenner concluded that an orchestrated move to reset these currencies could mark the biggest financial realignment since Bretton Woods. This viewpoint is further supported by a bulletin from the African Development Bank, which discusses Zimbabwe's realignment of currency reserves. While understated, the language strongly suggests that ZIM's redemption may be occurring under a structured strategic framework. That mention alone has re-energized interest among ZIM holders, especially those with high denomination notes. What's happening now is that respected voices are validating what many previously dismissed as unrealistic. This gives a whole new level of credibility to the GCR process. And with appointment links already circulating among registered US-based investors, the call to action has become immediate. After years of waiting, holders of IQD, VND, and ZIM must shift their mindset from hope to readiness. The window to act is narrowing quickly, and failure to act could lead to missing out on priority processing or being excluded from early exchange phases. The first step is verifying your pre-registration on trusted platforms. Some investors submitted details years ago, and outdated contact information could result in missed opportunities. Appointment emails and texts could easily land in spam folders or bounce if your info is incorrect. Make sure your name, email, phone, and bank details are current on record. Next, gather your compliance paperwork. These include KYC and AML documentation, proof of purchase, government-issued ID, social security info, and the destination bank account. Some investors are even organizing their currencies in tamper-evident folders, fireproof safes, or portfolios for streamlined processing. Lastly, be highly cautious of fraud. No bank will ever ask for fees or personal details via unsecured messages. Real links will be encrypted, single-use, and ID verified. Any deviation from these norms is a red flag. Stay sharp and protect yourself. The foreign currency redemption process now in motion is more than an administrative change. It could alter the global financial structure as we know it. If this process proceeds as described and rates become public on platforms like Bloomberg or Reuters, the effects will extend far beyond these three currencies. Analysts expect a domino effect beginning with oil-exporting economies and trade surplus countries. This includes the Kuwaiti Dinar, KWD, Saudi Riyal, SAR, Qatari Riyal, KAR, and the UAE, Dirham, ADI. With Iraq's currency returning to global circulation at a potentially much higher value, neighboring oil economies may follow suit to stay in balance. Most forecasts place the dinar's valuation anywhere from $3.50 to $7.90 USD depending on IMF input, oil collateral guarantees, and treasury rate models. The DOM, long kept low due to currency manipulation concerns, could land between $2.85 and $4 USD. Vietnam's rising influence in U.S. trade policy supports this outlook. ZIM presents a unique challenge due to its controversial past, but structured bonds or fixed payouts could be the mechanism. African Development Bank guidelines may serve as the foundation. Experts expect the U.S. Treasury to issue official statements after Tier 4B appointments are completed. Several insiders are now prash, suggesting that a televised address or executive-level confirmation may be coming shortly after the initial wave of exchanges. Legal advisors recommend documenting every detail of the process appointment logs, receipts, ID, and confirmations for compliance and tax purposes. Expect to see updates from the IRS and U.S. Treasury over the next few weeks. What we're witnessing is not just a financial event, it's a milestone in economic history. With confirmation coming from Chase Bank insiders and appointment emails landing in inboxes, the long-debated revaluation has entered reality. This isn't about hype anymore, it's about logistics and execution. For investors who have been on this ride since the early 2000s, despite skepticism and criticism, this moment may finally validate years of planning. Critics once ridiculed the idea of revaluing suppressed currencies like IQD, VND, or ZIM. Now, leading economists and policy veterans are backing the logic, especially in a world focused on post-pandemic restructuring and commodity-backed markets. Whether your holdings are modest or massive, preparation is now essential. It no longer matters whether you own 100 trillion ZIM, a few 100,000 IQD, or a bundle of dong. The warning is universal. Be prepared. Missing your turn, failing to verify, or falling for a scam could be the difference between early redemption and being sidelined indefinitely. Stay alert, stay organized, and keep everything documented. This isn't just about profit, it's about witnessing a historic transformation of the global economic system. After years of delays, setbacks, and disbelief, the signal has arrived. And this time, it's real. Thanks for watching Iraqi Dinar Hub, your trusted source for verified updates and insider intel on the evolving global currency landscape. If today's developments confirmed what you've been waiting for, now is the time to act, not react. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on so you never miss a critical update. Drop a comment below with your thoughts and let us know where you are in the exchange process. Stay prepared, stay informed, and, as always, stay vigilant. Until next time, this is Iraqi Dinar Hub, signing off.